Well, welcome to the Startup Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, the host of the show, where we talk about raising funding for your startup and the time it takes to have an espresso. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot of startup funding and investing. Some metrics are actually meaningless and tell you little about the business. Metrics should demonstrate customer interest and satisfaction through commitment of time or dollars. Here's a list of metrics to avoid. Number of downloads. By itself, it doesn't show level of interest or progress. More interesting metric is how many downloads convert into a user. Website visits. By itself, it doesn't show user satisfaction. More interesting metric is how many website visitors click through and engage with the site. Social followers. By itself, it doesn't show engagement. More interesting metric is how many social followers engaged with your content. Search engine ranking. By itself, it doesn't show conversions. More interesting metric is how many visitors clicked on the site and then engaged. Email list. By itself, it doesn't show how many people engaged. A more interesting metric is how many on the email list are active users. In each case, a more interesting metric is how many engaged, showed commitment, or satisfaction. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start up into today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.